Absolutely,
I am,
man.
then man, you're fired up again, and it felt really good. Although the circumstances were unfortunate, it felt really good to find that fire again,
right?
To feel angry.
Yeah.
So I think that's what David Loiseau's got his hands full of right now, is an emotional, very pissed off and changed frame of mind. I used to go into fights thinking, oh, it's a competition. Well, it's not a competition anymore. It's a damn fight.
It's a fight.
And that's the way I got to treat it, and I'm ready for a drag out bloody. Let's do this war,
Right. I think that's an aspect of, I think sports in general, but particularly MMA, that a lot of spectators don't really understand. I mean, there is that fire, whatever you want to characterize it as, is necessary in order to go the distance in this particular sport, I think.
Yeah.
You look at different fighters and you see what they bring to the table. And there's people with horrible records, but they bring that every time no matter what,
Yeah,
And that's what makes a successful fighter and a popular fighter, and also probably a sense of accomplishment in your career as a fighter.
Yeah.
I think.
If you're just joining us right now, we're talking with Joey Villasenor. He's got a fight coming up this Saturday. He's going to be taking on the Crow David Loiseau in Mississippi. And what's your thought on David Loiseau? He's coming off of 2 legitimate losses. I mean, just straight up, Rich Franklin beat the snot out of him for 5 rounds. I mean, dude, he hung in there for 5 rounds, which is totally impressive.
Yep.
But I mean, he got his ass kicked pretty much all 5 rounds.
Great fight to watch. Great fight. I mean,
yeah, and then
if you're a Franklin fan,
also coming off of a huge loss with Mike Swick, because I mean, Mike Swick's he's an up and comer, and Swick just made him look bad. Yeah. I mean, he went in there and he made David Loiseau look bad, no question about it. The 3rd round, maybe he came back and did something, and it was kind of the David Loiseau of old, but Swick pretty much went in there and made him look bad. What's your thought on him now?
Well, I hope that he feels like me. His back's up against the wall. His career's on the line. Yeah, it's just one loss to me, but that's how I feel.
Sure.
And I hope he feels the same way, because then he'll be able to push me even harder,
Right.
So I hope he feels like his back's up against the wall and he comes out firing like I'm going to do,
Yeah.
But if he's gun shy, well, then he's going to get punished for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
So I hope he feels like his career's on the line.
Right.
I want him to bring that. So,
right.
I respect him totally. I respect every opponent, but right now I feel disrespected. It's crazy. It's not his fault,
Sure.
But I'm gonna try to make it his fault, you know. And I'm out here to, I've did all the work, man. Two fights worth of training. I've done. I'm sick. I'm sick of training. I can't wait to celebrate the training. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm totally ready, man. And,
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Loiseau's a great opponent, but for his sake, he better feel like something's on the line, or it's going to be an uneven mental advantage for me.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know him on a personal level at all?
No, I used to joke all the time with Nate Marquardt, when we're at the UFCs, because we're both middleweights. Whenever we seen any other middleweights, I would shoulder Nate and let's say, look, we're always eyeballing all the middleweights, So
yeah.
I didn't know who was going to be Nate or me first,
Yeah.
I went down to Montreal, hoping that I could get to spar with him. And went to go
train with GSP.
Yeah, and he wasn't around, and I was unfortunate. A month later, I'm fighting the guy. I sparred his coach. Yeah, I got to spar with some of his teammates, and I know what they're saying. They're telling him Joey hits hard.
Yeah,
Joey hits damn hard.
Yeah.
So hopefully, he sits on that. You know.
Well, that's why you're the Dream Smasher. Is that what you are, the Dream Smasher?
Oh, AKA, man.
Are you going to change it?
I changed it. Smoking Joe.
Smoking Joe.
That's what my teammates are calling me. That's what my coach called me. That Smoking Joe, because when I get in the groove, I bob and weave and Smoking Joe. So that's what we're rolling with for the showtime. Is Smoking Joe.
Okay.
Has a ring to it.
All right. Well, if you're just joining us, Joey Villasenor talking to us right now. He's got a fight coming up this weekend with the Crow David Loiseau. And how do you feel about Team Jackson's now? You guys are starting to expand. You're adding people. I mean, before it was Diego, and it was Dan Christensen and Damasio and Keith, and now joining up is Rashad. who came from the Ultimate Fighter 2, and Jason McDonald, who's shown a lot of promise. He's got a tough kid, tough as nails. Yep. And also George St. Pierre. It's not official yet, but he's basically an unofficial member of the team. How do you feel about the cohesiveness of Team Jackson's?
Well, I got to say that if these guys weren't standout guys, they wouldn't be here. You know? And if our coach and team
and Nate Marquardt,
staff,
I forgot Nate Marquardt. I want to throw him back out there.
Yeah, Nate's been he was the first aboard from outside.
Yeah, he was.
And these are just people in search of a team, a family. They're in search of a base, and that's a home base, a family base, a family feel. These are, me and Keith are old school. We played sports in high school, so we know what a team feels like. We know what it. When I first moved down here, I'm gonna go ahead and brag, but I was the first one to call Greg Jackson coach. I was the first one to say, not Greg, but I called him coach because that's what he made me feel like. Yeah. I felt like I was being coached by the guy, and that was 6 years ago, you know? And now he's known as Coach Greg Jackson, and that's what we are. We're a team now, When I first joined the team, it was small. It was Christensen, Jardine, and Diego, and then I came aboard and Floyd Sword, and now it's just expanding because of our coaching staff and the people that surround the staff, and we're a family, man. I mean, Buck, you hang out with us sometimes, playing cards, whether it's concerts, birthdays, get-togethers, man. We're
Fantasy
a big old
football.
family. Fantasy football. We're a big family, and some of those guys out there are just missing that. And then when they come and they find it, man, they're just totally excited that they can trust another teammate or a coach. There's no who makes more here, you know what I'm saying, or who's more popular here. This is Albuquerque, New Mexico, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's just amazing that Mr. Greg Jackson has put together, with all of his hard work and a vision and a dream that started when he was a kid, to be this successful. I mean, it's a movie in the making right now. Yeah. And you can watch it on Sherdog when we're running in waist-deep snow, vomiting, puking, I mean, this is like this is like Rocky. Yeah. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And I'm just glad to be a part of it, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's... After you get through David Loiseau, what's the plan for Joey Villasenor? What do you want to do? Who do you want to fight? What organization do you want to be attached to? What's your plan?
Well, right now I've got 3 fights this year with Showtime.
Right.
So, with God's will and the hard work and my teammates behind me, I'm going to win those 3 fights. Yeah. And I'll establish myself here in the States. But right now, talks are that winner of me and Loiseau are fighting the winner of Shamrock and Henzo. So, I hope that's true because I don't want to be fighting no slouches, man. Yeah. I want to fight the best, I want to earn my respect with the best.
So are they, let me hop back real quick. Are they creating, Are they creating like a vacant title for those two, and they're going to fight for that title? Is that what's going on with those guys?
I don't think they're establishing a title fight right now with those guys. I think they're establishing, this is our show, these are our fighters, we're signing more. I heard that Ninja Hua signed with them too.
Oh, wow. That will be awesome having him on board for that.
So, they're starting to do the right things. So, I think that they're just establishing their fighters and who they are right now, and then they'll go into the belts, hopefully 1 or 2 fights later.
This is the first fight of the organization.
Yes,
that's pretty exciting.
It's exciting. It's very exciting.
Yeah. The Hua thing, I heard. I haven't seen it. I heard of it, and usually when I hear it through the grapevine, it usually comes out, pretty fair. Yeah. So hopefully we'll see. I've seen Hua fight. I've met him. He's a cool guy, but. Hopefully we can meet each other someday,
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk a little, well, we've got a few minutes left. Let's talk a little gossip. It's not really gossip anymore. I mean, it's fact now that Diego's going to be fighting Josh Koscheck. And the big question that I've been getting from people, how come Diego has to fight a guy who he's already beaten? And we talked to Coach Greg Jackson about it last week, and he says, well, Diego wants to go out and do this, and he wants to solidify everything.